Hello everyone, AceofSpades here, and this is Goblin-Inc. Let's talk about the build I've used for Gauntlet. This week I've been rank 1 several times. Right now I am rank 3. It's been pretty good, has served me pretty well. So let's talk about it and what the build does. It's a Shred build. It's very simple to play. It's easier than Pulverize, which is another popular build for Gauntlet. But Pulverize plus Shred, it's a little bit tricky to play. I think just pressing Shred only pretty much is, the go-to. You can bind this on your mouse wheel, and that's all you have to do is scroll your mouse wheel. So, it runs Harlequin Crest or Godslayer. I didn't really find any difference between them. So, if you don't have Shaco, run Godslayer. Very good for the first boss. We play Madwolf Glee, and move speed, let's talk about the move speed right away. You actually do not need this much move speed. I am overcapped by 25%. You can have one less move speed roll either on boots or on amulet because the shrines will cap you. Now, we run Stormclaw, Archon, Gauntlets. The trick I've used is to have attack speed for 4 seconds after dodging an attack. Now, this is a rogue stat that can be found on rogue items. It can be rolled on a rogue alt if the item is not class locked. If you buy a pair of gloves with these stats, they're gonna be rogue class locked, and then you can use an aspect for a generic class and it will unbind the item magically. So, well, it's not necessary to have dodge and attack speed after dodge, but I found it to be pretty powerful and it was being pretty good for me. We run Stormclaw on the Gauntlets, attack speed, crit chance, and shred ranks. T-Bolt's Will and Ghostwalker on the boots with dodge, because I need some dodge. Max Shrine buff is really the only stat you should have in Gauntlet. Move speed and all stats, they can be not max rolled, because like I said, we overcap move speed. Shrines will give you move speed. Shepherds, actually 35% move speed from the shrines. Shepherd on one of the weapons, we run one hand because it's faster. Speed is everything, as shrines do really most of the work in Gauntlet. Double stat, crit damage, and close. Totem, cooldown, crit chance, and stats. The cooldown is because the more cooldown reduction you have, the faster your evade comes back. So yeah, your evade scales with cooldown reduction. On the amulet, you could have, again, cooldown. I don't have it. Ranks to Venom and Shrine buff duration should be maxed out, and then cooldown reduction or move speed or damage are all good stats. Arida is very important. I suggest try to get a 925 one with max damage, as the damage part actually one-shots mobs for the most part. Very powerful, and pretty much the only good thing Druid has going on in the Gauntlet is Arida. Starless Skies is not needed, and if you do not have this one, you can run a simple ring with retaliation and crit chance. Now, let's talk about the boons. The boons are a little bit different than usual. This is a Gauntlet build. I will link below 2 builds, one for Gauntlet, one for normal gameplay. This build is very squishy, has only 16k HP, so be careful. We run Gift of the Stag for more spirit because we do not need DR in Gauntlet, as the mobs do not do a lot of damage. I'm running attack speed and critical strike damage. The more attack speed, the more damage you will do with your shrines. The more often the cooldown of your boots will come back. I'm running Bolster for Fortify and Overload because it's doing lightning damage, and I have some tech with lightning damage that you guys can see soon. So, I am running Bad Omen, I'm running Electric Shock. Electric Shock, you do more damage to immobilized enemies, and you immobilize enemies with lightning damage. This is very good if you run with Godslayer. Bad Omen, Charge Atmosphere, 1 point in elemental exposure. And Venom, of course. I'm running Ursian Strength, and I'm not running Heightened Senses because, again, DR is useless. We do take 45 though and damage. We take 3 points in Petrify, and we do run Defiance because Defiance does work with Bad Omen. It's a bug, but it does work. We take the Raven, so you can have 3 Ravens. 1 point in Poison Creeper and Wolves if you do not have Shackle. Take the points for Nature's Reach as they work for distant enemies, so when you Petrify, you will do more damage. Blood Owl with attack speed, Shred, and we take Wild Impulses. Even though it's bugged, it's still worth taking. Now the Paragon board, if you don't want to check it, I'm gonna of course link it, but it's very offensive, and it also has some very high stat requirements. So if you want to activate this board, which is Lust for Carnage, you will need Shaco and Incense, but it's not really necessary, in my opinion. It's only 2.5% attack speed and a little bit of damage. I'm running Werewolf here in Lust for Carnage. I'm running Fang and Claw in Height and Malice, and I'm taking extra points in Dexterity to activate the nodes. I'm not running, as you can see, the damage reduction ones. We really go full squishy pretty much in Gauntlet. We take Spirit on the first board. We take a maxed out Guzzler in Inner Beast. A very good board for us with Havoc. Of course, I like to take here Deluge in Thunderstruck just to get the Exploit. So just 27 points. Exploit is for the vulnerability. It's pretty important in this case because mobs die very quickly. Ancestral Guidance, and we run Outmatch. Now, Ancestral Guidance is not always needed as you often have the resource buff, which does not allow you to run Ancestral Guidance because if skills don't cost resources, you do not activate it. But when it's off, the 30% damage is very important, and I still decided to run it. So overall, this is the build I've been running. Now, I'll just go over a few tips about Gauntlet and my thoughts about it. I had pretty much a good time though, and yeah, let's talk about the Gauntlet. Okay, let's talk about some tips and tricks to play this build in Gauntlets. So the most important thing in this build is your ring, your Reader's Ring. So let's learn how to use the ring properly, because there is a way to do it. So the way to do it is to always pull enemies when you have... So look at how this door is positioned. If we go back a little bit, you're gonna notice that I use my Arida always when I have open space down below, I have vision here, because Arida is only pulling things that are in your range of vision. Even if they're too far away for them to be visible, they will still get pulled as long as you have line of sight in the game, if that makes sense. So it's very important that you keep this in mind when you use your ring. It is the most crucial and fundamental thing, and also the only advantage Druid has, which is we can pull enemies without getting close to them. So use this to your advantage. Another tip is never stop. Don't wait for the Hell Tides, Hell Waves to spawn. Keep it moving. In this case, enemies have spawned behind me, but I don't stop. The two most crucial things are use your ring properly, and second, see again here, I don't go all the way in with my Arida's ring. I'm gonna go till the door, and then I'm gonna pull. And as you can see, the enemies are being killed there. Let's take a look again at the fight with the Spirit Caller here. First, I kill the Spirit Caller by Overpower, and then to pull the enemies in this room, I don't go all the way inside. I stay here. What you can also do in similar situations as this is don't kill the Spirit Caller, get here, pull with your ring, kill those enemies, and then kill the Spirit Caller or whatever boss it is, and use it as a stepping stone to jump backwards. So always make sure you use your Arida's ring inside the doors, pretty much. Make sure you have plenty of open space and vision on enemies. And don't stop. As you can see, Hellwave spawn, ignore them, keep going. Unless they are already visible and you can hit them, there is no point in standing still. This is gonna be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the update to Shred. I don't think I'm gonna play Gauntlet again. It's kinda boring after a while. But I enjoyed the challenge, and yeah, it was fun. And I will see you guys again with more builds after I am done with my vacation, which I'm gonna be taking a couple of weeks. I'm probably gonna be somewhere warm with a mojito, and then I'll come back, I'll play some Diablo, play some PTR closer to Season 4. And I wish you all a good rest of the day. And from next season, I'm gonna be more free from work because my work is gonna be mostly automated at the point, and I will take content creation and streaming more seriously, so you guys are gonna see me a lot more. Have a good time, and see you later on.